president is planning a Patriots game. Now, what he said was he wants one young man and one young woman from each territory, and they have to be athletes. Now, I was saying to myself when I first heard this, because I know probably many people have said this before. Does it sound familiar? Hmm. What sounds like that? When certain things happen, there's always a correlation to it, and it does literally sound like Hunger Games. I am literally going to put up his speech. Hi, 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 TJ. I am literally going to put up the president's speech. And if you listen to it carefully, he sounds like President Snow to the letter. Um, what's so strange about it is that how ages ago I remember people talking about people taking children, taking people, and hunting them down and stuff like that. And like I said, it's so strange because, like in the 90s, a lot of things were spoken about, and a lot of things that's happening now in the 2026 is happening. Um, and it's strange. It always starts in America, and then it kind of waves out to the other places. Now, bear in mind, they have been things like this has happened before because there was a bunch of rich people. I forgot what part of the world it was, where they were hunting poor people at one time. And then recently, when it came out, everybody was kind of shocked. But sometimes you don't be shocked when you hear these things because you know these things happen. Now, the Patriot Games bear a very great resemblance to Hunger Games in a lot of ways, i.e., that he's asking for athletes from different territories, different states, and the way the buildings look. There, I saw a snippet of one of the buildings, and it's quite telling. Now, as you know, I've been covering ice. I've been covering lots of, no, ice, particularly ice. I think yesterday, day before yesterday. It's very telling what's going on. Exactly that's my exact point in the fiasco. What happens in the US, it trickles to other countries, or we allow others to follow suit. I appreciate your coverage. Oh, thank you, TJ. So, so it's definitely telling. I am going to put up the president, the I call him the Orange Man as well. Funny enough, I think quite a few people call him the Orange Man. His speech, I might even get from another platform and add to it. And I'm not the best editor in the world, but I try my best. And I'll add to it and I'll put it up. Now, as you know, my little lives, these little type of lives are very short. When I do the bigger screen, I can go as far and vast as I can. So, right about now, he is, like I said, what is going on is, what's it said, art imitating life right now. Everything what is happening is kind of already been told already. It's interesting how it's played out. Now, being that how I'm watching from here, little old UK, and you're just thinking to yourself, wow, like it's getting very strange, very interesting, very weird, right? So I have covered, oh no, there's still more of the ice to cover, obviously, but you know, I feel he gets these ideas something he's seen somewhere, and he plays it out on the Americas. Like I said, when I'm talking about watching the Civil War movie, I am not joking. I'm not joking at all. You need to watch the Civil War movie. You need to watch Bushwick. And yes, I am repeating myself because it's getting to that point, okay? And you need to literally um, listen to what he's saying to an extent, take it in, be aware, because um, often they foretell what they're planning in movies. That's why I keep covering that Civil War. I think Civil War really, really, really stuck in my mind on certain levels. I think it's the little things I noticed, especially in these ice situations. Um, and it's like you gotta say certain friendly things on YouTube. So like, um, what I noticed with the ice situation, right? Like I said, it's not just the migrants they're after, it's the citizens they're after. The citizens, it's like a dictatorship state going on. It hasn't fanned out to every single state, right? But like, because when I saw that video with them on the outskirts of Texas, when they asked him what American is he, I think that's what bothered me the most. And often when things bothers me the most, that's when I tend to make more videos on that particular thing. And um because I know over here we have one that's trying to come up here. He's also a friend of Trump, and he's prepared to put a face in front of the camera so that he can get seen or whatever. And I always say, and I always will always say this: when something starts in America, the ones in the UK, i.e., the prime ministers over here, parliament, however you want to put it, they be watching what's going on in America. They want to play it out over here. I think I said it on TikTok yesterday, but I don't even know whether anybody got it. But um, there is a lot of awake people in the world, but they tend to shadow ban them, um, not put them out. Some people have to change what they're saying to get certain things out, and it's crazy. One time there was, I can't remember. There's been so much things anyway. I like to have my screen so I could show examples of stuff, so I could play stuff because it's like a domino effect happens. It's a domino effect happens. I did cover the migrants situation over here, but there was a lot of undercoverness about the hotels. Now they got them in military barracks. It's not only is it racism, it's something deeper than that. And people keep was referring to Auschwitz and how they used to pick up the Jews from their front doors and certain stuff. So there's a lot of references that is happening. Um, the guy Craig does look like what is called a Gestapo. He hates the word Gestapo, but that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. So it is very interesting how things are playing out. They want to redefine who is and who isn't a citizen, reclassifying everyone's citizenship. Many countries are moving to digital. Yeah, digital currency. Yes, UK is moving to the digital currency. I have covered that as well. Um, First they're saying it's not mandatory. They start and they say it's not mandatory, and then it turns mandatory. You can't eat unless you got the ID. Um, you can't do lots of things. You can't do lots of things. Um, yes, yes, yes. Everything you said is right, TJ. Everything is yeah. So um, that's why I just do real quick, short ones on this format here because I have a thought, and sometimes I want to put it out, and I can't always to edit a video, a small video, to put it in, and I'm not the best editor. No, I'm not, but it's to get the message out. So what I'm saying to the Americans, you have to be safe out there. If they are choosing young people from different states, or as he says, different territories, that's when it's started to look like what it is, right? When it's starting to look like what it is. And I'm thinking censorship will come into play because a lot of people will be able to talk about certain stuff on their platforms. He'll probably try to suppress that. So, it'd be like Song of Freedom. If you've seen, I mean, I'd refer to a lot of movies. Song of Freedom, not for Song of Freedom, the one where the guy, where he is um, where he delivers things, where it's in the pandemic, and there's been a lot of movies. There's been a lot of movies coming out. Me too. That's why I'm actually scared to talk about what I really want to talk about. Yes, because they shadow banned you. They shadow banned you. Um, that's why we have to talk about normal stuff sometimes. It just happens like that. Um, the ones who can talk about certain stuff and can get past whatever they need to get past, it works. But yeah, yes, the pandemic experiment, yes, and all that, yes. There's a lot of stuff that is afoot. Like I said, I wish I could do lives all the time, but obviously when you got responsibilities, it's a bit harder. Um, I can watch things, but sometimes I can't talk because when you got responsibilities, it's a bit more difficult. So when you want to say what you want to say, you can't say. So you probably come days afterwards, and then you say afterwards, but then probably somebody else has already said it before you said it. So you know, so yeah, so um, I'm not going to be on here long. I'm going to go see if I can make a small video on what Mr. Trump has said. Um, if you know about the Hunger Games, if you have watched all of them, I'm talking about all of them. I think it's three. I think it's three of them. I think, especially when Snow meets the young lady, you see the backstory to Snow. Um, yeah. So they are definitely trying to bring Hunger Games, but underneath the skies of Patriot Games. And he said, well, it's a celebration of America or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, scary times. Yes. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it right here. Um, you can look back on what I said about Alex Pretty. I know he's not the only one who has been unalive by the hands of ICE. He's just one of the names that's come out because of who he is as well. The ICU, he's an ICU nurse who got unalive by ICE. He took out a camera. They called it self-defense, as though the rubbish. Um, yeah. So with that said, I'm definitely gonna come off, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Bye, TJ.